I'm Caroline Martin. This is The Sanctuary. Tonight, on the longest day, the darkest night, are you ready for a fright?
O Lord, what fool these mortals be. If we shadows have offended, think but this, and all is mended.
On this midsummer night, everyone is sleeping.
These mortals be. If we shadows have offended, think but this, and all is mended.
Prophecy.
So it begins.
The collective nouns, the ones that are there, are in there to the crows.
Certainly got an eerie feel to it. We can't go any further down there. Oh, this is amazing.
The venue that we're at is so scary in lots of ways.
We can safely say Dino is not himself. Very, very quiet. He's silly, he's not bigger than a tin can.
Historian, skeptic, and protection.
I can't look at you the same anymore. Is that fireplace? Nervous. Just think as much as it's here.
The Sanctuary with Caroline Martin. Sanctuary.
So here we go then. For the longest day, the darkest night, we decided to resurrect our Fright Night on The Sanctuary. Now, if you've never heard one of our Fright Nights before, it's basically a sort of investigation into the paranormal. We visit various venues across the Midlands that are reportedly haunted to see what, if anything, paranormal happens. Now, in the past, we've visited Dudley Castle, the Manor House in West Brom, the Creaky Cauldron in Stratford, Derby Jail, Drayton Manor and others. Now, the last Fright Night took place on Valentine's Day, but we couldn't turn down the chance for one final fright on this, the summer solstice. Our location, which we visited recently, is the amazing venue of Cliffe in Warwickshire, where a small team of us gathered, including mediums, psychics, skeptics and observers. Now, joining me on our Midsummer Night Scream Fright Night were Dave Matthews, the Sanctuary's resident psychic, Andy, our paranormal investigator and skeptic, producer Dino, my friend and support Donna, and our guides at Cliffe were Aid and Shelley. Now, the lovely Laura from the Sanctuary missed out on this Fright Night, but she has looked up some of the details of the location.
Yes, I have. Cliffe itself can be traced back to the Saxon times, and in its time, it's been an old manor house, a hospital for the Red Cross in the First World War, a boys' home for waifs and strays during the Second World War, and it's also home to a church and a series of caves. Today, it's used as a Masonic lodge for the Freemasons, and there are rumours that the site in the past has had links to the mysterious Knights Templar. Now, if you've read the Da Vinci Code, these were linked to protecting religious artefacts like the Ark of the Covenant and the Holy Grail. Sadly, most of Cliffe has now been destroyed by accidents, and that includes a fire that broke out when a TV company actually filmed Sherlock Holmes mystery there.
So for our fourth Fright Night, Cliffe was our location. Now, if while you're listening tonight, anything out of the ordinary happens, anything at all, Just anything that strikes you as odd, a noise, anything that you hear, maybe something in the background, maybe something happens where you go cold, or just anything, let us know. Call 0330 6600 111. That's 0330 6600 111, or you can text on 87867.
The Sanctuary with Caroline Martin.
Now, tonight's show is purely for entertainment purposes. We don't claim to have proof of actual haunting, and we merely present this for you to sit back, listen and enjoy this evening. So, if we're all sitting comfortably, let's start the Sanctuary's 4th Fright Night from Cliffe. This is our Midsummer Night Scream. And so it begins, another Fright Night. This is Fright Night number 4, and for this one we have come to Cliffe in Warwick. So we've just arrived at the building, just walking past now. Actually, it's just getting dark. I'd say it's just getting dusk, and I'm just looking at the. Well, actually, from here it just appears to be ruins. To be fair, and there's lots of warning, dangerous building, keep out signs, and you can look toward the building. Lots of archways. Windows there, all been blocked out. There's just sort of like hardboard there that's blocking them all out. I don't know what was in there or what happened, whether there was a fire or whether it's just fallen into disrepair, but I guess as the night progresses we'll find out a bit more about that. It's very tranquil here, actually, very, very peaceful tonight. There's an archway that we've come through, and looking back towards that now, it looks as if there would have once perhaps have been a bell up there, maybe. Do you know?
It looks like there might have been a clock, maybe a bell at some point, but again, like the rest of the building, it's fallen into disrepair or it's been destroyed. I noticed that when we came up the driveway, it's the most really imposing archway, and as soon as you come under through that into the rest of the driveway where you park the cars, you've then got the building that you've just described, which is really, really creepy.
It's a very creepy thing to look at. It's, I guess if I was to describe it to you now, and there are photos on the Facebook, so you can go and have a look at that, but it is, again, like most of these places where you've got nothing behind them because it's all fallen away. You've just got these big gaps with, like, at the top, 2 windows with no frames, and then this big kind of like hole underneath it, which would, I presume, have been a window of some description as well. And it is like Amityville, isn't it? Or is it that house that was on the horror film?
It looks like on both sides of the building you've got the same sort of configuration of windows. It looks like 2 eyes, a giant mouth, and with the bay windows there and the helicopter going overhead. Hello everyone. With the bay windows there, and as it comes down, they look like giant teeth. So each side of the building looks like you've got this ominous face on each side, like a skull on each side.
But we can, yes, that is helicopter going over. Maybe they're just checking out what we're doing. As you walk down the drive, it's a strange place, because as you walk down, I don't know if you can hear that above the helicopter noise, there's birds that just sort of like just seem to come out of the ruins and just flutter around. And I wonder if they're going to cause us any problems later. I don't want one of them in the air.
I think you'll find that the collective noun for the ones that are there are a murder of crows. So for our Midsummer Fright Night, it's kind of apt that there's another murder happening.
Apt, but not entirely welcome, I'd say. Right, let's go through these big, heavy metal gates that we've got in front of us. And we're in. And this is a different scene altogether. I don't know whether this part of the building is older than that or whether they are the same age. Again, we'll find out more as we go round. But it's kind of like strange. I'm stood here now in presumably what is the courtyard. If I look back on myself, there's the, back part of the building that I just described to you. It looks almost churchy from the back. At the front it doesn't, does it? But from the back it kind of like does. Same scene really. Ruins. This bit of the building just seems to be ruins, and as we walk further along I can see the chapel, the church. There is a actual church here. Do you think it's still used?
It looks like it might be. I mean, it's clearly got a clock still in there, and also opposite the church you've got this, it looks like caves or rooms that have been built into the caves in the side, like into a cliff face.
Whatever those rooms are there, we'll try and find out later, but let's go back and move over here a little. But we're walking down, and we're going to introduce you to the rest of the people that are coming with us tonight on our Fright Night. And here they all are. Hello. Right, I'll introduce you then as we go round tonight. We have got the lovely Dave, Psychic Dave, our resident psychic. Not that you actually live with us, but, you know... It
feels like it.
You pop out when you're needed, don't you, love? How are you feeling about tonight?
Very, very nervous.
Now, I've been feeling like this all day, and we've been communicating all day. There's been the odd phone call and the odd Facebook message, and I must admit that I've been feeling uneasy about this. And a lot of other people too that, you know, consider themselves psychic, they've been sending me messages sort of hinting as to what we can expect tonight, things that they're picking up on from their own homes. Is that actually possible?
Absolutely. I mean, what you have to remember is that people that work on the psychic level can actually pick things up from all over the place, and you often get messages through something called distant viewing. And I think the venue that we're at is so scary in lots of ways that there's a lot of vibration in the energy in the air. So, yeah. I can't even get my words out. I'm so nervous about this.
Is there any particular part that you are drawn to tonight?
The answer has to be yes, I want to go into the wine cellar and I want to go to the top room.
OK, well, I'm sure that will be on the agenda a little bit later on. Now, I've brought my lovely friend Donna because she's never been on one of these, and she's my friend for now, and hopefully in a few hours she still will be. How are you feeling?
Nervous.
Has it changed since you got here? Because you've been feeling a bit nervous on the way, but now you're actually here, now you're kind of like seeing it for what it is. Do you still feel as bad?
Not quite as bad, but I haven't been in yet, so...
That is very true. I think that's all about to change, to be fair. And also we've got Shelley here as well. Nice to meet you, Shelley.
Hi, good to meet you too.
And what do you do here, Shelley?
We look after the place, basically. Tend to the garden, make sure everything's all nice, and we also attend the ghost hunts. I'm a bit of a psychic myself, and we've got a little experiment going on underneath the chapel here. I don't know if you can see, there's two candles. One is a positive energy, the other's a negative energy candle, so light and dark. And as you see, the lighter candle, positive energy, is burning very, very bright. The darker one is hardly lit, which is nice because that is actually a good energy in there. I feel that's a very healing energy.
Could that change as the night goes on?
Hopefully they'll show us.
Right, OK. And hello to you, Aid.
Hello there.
So you're part of Shelley, Shelley's part of you, you do the things that Shelley has described.
That's right, I'm probably more involved than Shelley. I'm also chairman of the Friends of Guys Cliffe, so very involved with the property. Been here since the day dot on the ghost hunts as well, so... And everyone's different, yeah. It all changes. Be interested to see if we come across some of the facts that I've found out before, and we'll see how the night goes, really, yeah.
OK, and we've got Jules here as well. Hello, Jules. You've been dragged here tonight by Andy, it seems.
I have indeed, Caroline, yes.
Yeah, and what do you do, Jules?
Tonight I'm going to be doing a bit of the videography. I'm going to see if...
Lipstick on.
I'm going to see if anything that happens this evening I can get captured on film for us, so we've got a record of that as well.
Fantastic. And, of course, no Fright Night would be complete without Andy.
I'm here, yes. I think from what Dave's saying, you might need me here tonight. Seems that my job list is getting bigger. What am I now? Historian, skeptic, and protection.
Yeah. The only reason, or the only way that I got Donna here tonight actually was because I said Andy will be there to provide all the protection you need. So as long as you've got that in abundance, we should be good. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling fit as a fiddle tonight, actually. I'm actually really looking forward to this. I mean, Warwick's my hometown. This place is right on my doorstep, and there's a lot of myth, there's a lot of history to do with this place. So for me, this is going to be a very, very interesting night. And Dave may be nervous, but I'm looking forward to this.
And Dino, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling chipper, Marl, feeling chipper. I do want to talk to Andy at some point this evening, as he's a local lad. I want to get some of the history behind Guys Cliffe and what the links are, but I want to do that as we go on, see if Shelley and Dave pick anything up. But no, I'm feeling all right. Feeling a bit nervous, feeling cold as well.
A coat might have been a good option, but obviously you decided not to take that one.
Fashion before sense, darling. Fashion before sense.
Shame it didn't work then. All right, you. Wind in.
All's in, girls. Come on.
Right, so that is the team and the venue, Guys Cliffe in Warwick. Are we ready to go?
Yes. No.
And so we've begun. A quick breather before we take you on a tour of Guys Cliffe. It's the Sanctuary with me, Caroline Martin, and this is our Fright Night.
Step out of your comfort zone and in to the Sanctuary.
Now, Guy's Cliffe is a huge place with lots of interesting places. A church, caves, underground rooms. So before the night began, producer Dino, Donna and I decided to have a look round.
The rest of the team, I think we'll send them off to just get ready, have a bit of a cheery brew, I think, get one on, and we'll go round, because the light is still with us, so we'll go and have a look at the different rooms while the light is with us so that we know which ones we want to go back to. Right, so this bit is the coach house, isn't it? So, okay. If we just kind of like look in here. Now, this is a strange room. It is what it says on the tin, basically. Presumably, this is where they put coaches and all sorts back in the day. But right now, it just looks like it's been hollowed out, doesn't it? Out of stone or something like that. And there's archways here as well. It doesn't feel too bad in here, to be quite honest with you, really, does it, Dino?
No, it feels all right. I think we should now go and find out what this top room is. And also, we've been told that the wine cellar is particularly active, so it might be worth having a look in there before the light loses.
Right, OK. Well, let's sort of like leave this one then. Now, this is a strange area as we're walking towards this wine cellar, because it's almost like it's not rails or something, but presumably it looks like there's kind of like what are they? It looks like there's tracks going all the way down there, and you'd think that they may go down to the wine cellar because, I don't know, wine barrels might go down there or something, but...
So you've got tracks that go from the coach
all the way down.
Wine cellar, this, oh, it's a dead bird.
Right up there. But should we go down here?
Tunnel.
Now, this is kind of... Oh, this is strange, really. Gravel underneath us. And this is just like a cavern. And you can smell that musty smell, and it almost smells of smoke as well. It seems like there's something else here too. That musty smell, like you go down into a cellar, which, in fact, I guess it is. And
isn't that odd though?
What's that?
We've gone down, and now all of a sudden we have to come up some steps.
Yeah, we've come up the steps into a cellar. And this is, as I'm sure you'll see on the pictures on the website a bit later, it is that there's all kind of like almost shelves into the wall, isn't there, where presumably the wines and what have you were stored, all numbered.
It's lucky that we've got torches.
Yes, it's absolutely pitch black. If you turned the torch off, you wouldn't see anything. And why is there a dead rose in here? I'll say one thing for it, down here, it is warm. There's a certain feeling that you get in here. This has got a kind of strange vibe to it.
Yeah, it feels quite oppressive in here, but then maybe that's because it's an enclosed area and it's quite dark, but my throat's all of a sudden gone really quite tight all of a sudden.
Right, I think that we need to come back down in here quite soon, actually, with Dave and Shelley and the rest of them. Right, back down the steps, quite a few steps down. Like you said, it is weird that you go back up, isn't it, again? Right, back up the steps again, into the daylight that is just going now. Presumably that sun well on the way to setting.
I think this is as good as the light's going to get for us, and it's almost a full moon.
Right, now let's walk in here. Now this is kind of amazing. Look up there. Oh, and there's birds. We have birds.
Aid says this is where we go for the top room.
Do you think that this would have been where the servants were, maybe?
I have no
servants'
idea.
quarters. Because if you look up here, I'm thinking I thought that was like a bell thing for people to be rung or what have you. Do you think it would have been... Is there a fireplace in here? Is that a fireplace?
Yes,
that would have been the fireplace. Maybe this would have been a kitchen of some sort or servants' quarters, but I guess we'll find out as we go on. Now, it's clearly got passages that run off of this, and if you look both ways down, there's... Oh, can you smell that? Like nettles, isn't it? That really strong nettle, weedy type smell. Oh, this is amazing in here. This would have been absolutely magnificent when it was all complete. And what is that? I don't know what this is, and I don't know what it was, but this is eerie. This has certainly got an eerie feel to it. Though this must be near the front of the house that we were describing earlier, mustn't it? Let's go in here. really dark room that looks like it would have been used for some sort of storage of something, doesn't it?
It's like almost like an old parlour. I mean, it's similar to the wine cellar, but obviously
No, not a
pantry.
pantry.
Yeah.
A pantry. It looks like a pantry. Oh, weird smell from there. That smells like something's gone off. What's up here? I'm not going up those steps. They're covered in poo. Oh! That'll be a bird then. Right, be careful then, through this way again, back over this brickwork floor and out into the corridor. You can't go any further down there. That's just kind of like rubble. And do we dare go down here? There's steps down. Do you think we dare?
After you.
Right, be careful because this is slippery. More poo. Oh, what's this? Oh. I feel that things could get quite interesting down here a little bit later.
Now, I think we're actually losing the light because it's now really starting to feel quite eerie down here, even with the torches. And as it is a dangerous building, I think we need to have everyone with us.
Right. We're back up the steps again and out of this room. I'm excited about coming down here later. I don't mind telling you, there's just something about here that just feels... Oh, do you know what I mean?
It feels really quite creepy. Like I said, the light is now going. I think we need to have the psychics with us.
Well, we've had a look round. We've familiarised ourselves with everything in the light. I think just a few more minutes and we'll be good to go. Good to go. Good to go. Good to go.
Now, ahead of the Fright Night proper, producer Dino talked away from the rest of the group to our historian Andy to get a bit more background on the venue for our Fright Night.
Okay, we've broken away from the others. Andy is with us. Andy is our historian and our skeptic and our protector. Your job title goes on and on and on. What can you tell us about Guy's Cliffe?
Well, Guy's Cliffe is a very special place to me. I live in Warwick, it's just down the road from me, and this place has so much history. The site that we know of dates back to Anglo-Saxon England. However, it's believed this site may have been of pagan significance as well. There's a lot of circumstantial evidence that states this is a very, very old property, and it's always believed to have been a very magical place. Druids are believed to have been here. Going throughout the ages, there's been a church here, a chapel here, which still stands, Mary Magdalene's Chapel, and it's presently owned by the Masons. And if you come into Warwick, a lot of the myth and, if you like, the conspirator's history circles around Guy's Cliffe. From the ghostly side, with a place like this, you're going to have ghost stories. We've got things like the ghost of Piers de Gaveston was led through here. He was led to execution about half a mile away in Blacklow Hill, and his horse is believed to have been seen riding through the property.
Who was Piers de Gaveston?
Piers de Gaveston was best friend of Edward II. He insulted Guy Beauchamp of Warwick, and in a battle, Guy basically managed to capture Piers, brought him down to Warwick, realised he couldn't execute him because that would turn the king against him and he wouldn't have the power to defend his town against them. So he called on his neighbour, the Duke of Lancaster. Basically said, I've captured Piers de Gaveston, any chance you can help me out? Lancaster said, yes, I'll meet you on the borders of your land, which was effectively about half a mile away. That's how big Lancaster was in that time. Lancaster came down, he met with Guy Beauchamp. However, Guy had a procession all the way from Warwick Castle out, down, through, past the Saxon Mill here, past Guy's Cliffe, to Blacklow Hill. De Gaveston was led to the top of Blacklow Hill, and there he was beheaded. It was literally a publicity stunt during the First English Civil War, just to say, look at the power the rebels have, if you like, we can stand against the king's best friend. His horse has been seen. I mean, for 200 years after the execution in Warwick itself, there was many, many sightings of this procession walking from the castle, and they would follow the route all the way down through Guy's Cliffe here, because the chapel, it's believed, may have been the final place where de Gaveston stopped to pray before God, before he was led for execution. I will say from myself, even as a skeptic, this is the only area where I've seen anything that I can't explain, and it sounds quite strange. I actually saw half a horse.
Half a
horse walking along the side of the road.
Which half?
It was the back end of a horse. Now, next door to us there is a riding school. I know that. However, this was nowhere near the riding school, and when I stopped, no horse, nothing. That's the only thing I've ever had down here where I can say, right, I've got a few questions about that. One of the reasons why I'm keen to be here tonight. We also have the stories around here of the original Guy Beauchamp. Now, this predates that. It's about the 8th, 9th century. Guy Beauchamp was a local boy. He was a hero. He wanted to marry into nobility. He came from a common family, but he wanted to become that wealthy, rich lord. He became a great warrior. He defeated the Saracen champion. He defeated locally the dun cow, this monster cow that was roaming the streets. Sounds quite strange, I know, to have a monster cow, but he was the one who defeated it in battle. Various monsters and legends are attributed to Guy Beauchamp. However, towards the end of his life, he lost his lustre for battle. He became a hermit. He did actually marry Felice, Lady Felice. He went away to war, came back. He's a broken-hearted man almost, totally ashamed. Came back to Warwick and became a hermit out here in the caves in Guy's Cliffe. Now, he didn't tell his wife that he was back. What he did do, as he grew older, he progressively fell ill. There was a time he basically knew he was going to die. What he did, quite romantic, he sent his wedding ring via a messenger to his wife at Warwick Castle. She got the ring with this little note saying, "I'm at Guy's Cliffe." She comes down, Guy's died. She then takes herself up to the top of the cliff and committed suicide for her lost love. We also have the story of this going on here tonight as well, plus many, many other just little bits and pieces and snippets that you get, rumours, stories that are handed down from people to people, and it'll be interesting to see how many of those come to light tonight.
Excellent.
Let's go treasure hunting. Let's go treasure hunting. Let's go treasure hunting. Let's go treasure hunting. Let's go treasure hunting.
So that's the history, that's the tour. Now, if you look outside, the light has now faded. We are now into the darkest night, and next, our final Fright Night starts in earnest. You have been warned.
Sanctuary.
Our fourth Fright Night and our Midsummer Night Scream is from the ancient site of Guy's Cliffe in Warwickshire. Lots of areas and mysteries that we wanted to investigate there, but as with every other Fright Night, we're led by our psychic Dave. Now, he was being drawn to a place called the Wine Cellar, so with our other psychic Shelley and the rest of the team, we headed underground.
Right, I think we ought to crack on now. The light seems to have gone sufficiently, so let's all make our way down. And I think our first port of call, it really needs to be the wine cellar. Away we go. Right, here we go. Right, down the steps, into the wine cellar. Up this gravelly bit again. And it's at this point that the smell kind of like hits you, really, isn't it? That musty, fusty smell. And you get a feeling of being quite uncomfortable, but up the stairs, into the wine cellar, which is quite welcome as it's, I say it's warm, it's chilled out a bit, hasn't it, since we came down here last? Right. Is everybody in? OK. And so we're all in. And why is it that this seems a lot bigger than it did when we came in earlier? It can't be. There's no way it can be.
OK, torches off, everyone.
Right, so everybody's in. And how's everybody feeling?
When I was on the way in down the tunnel, I paused at the very entrance because I could smell burning frankincense at the entrance to the tunnel. And when I came in just now, I don't know whether you noticed, I stopped at the top of the stairs again here in the wine cellar because I could smell it again. And I've been going a little bit backwards and forwards here, and I can still smell burning frankincense. But even as I'm stood here now, I can smell it really, really strong.
I can't, I'm not smelling anything like that. How do you feel down here, Shelley?
I've got to smell it. It's like, it could be incense because I haven't actually smelled incense. It is a floral type smell. Musky, florally. Is that what incense smells like, Dan?
Yeah, it's not the musty smell that you'd expect in a damp wine cellar. I mean, there is that musty smell in here, but there is this other, what I can only describe as a churchy smell. Okay, it is the smell of incense that you would get in a church.
And why would that be in a wine cellar?
Well, it shouldn't be, is the answer. It shouldn't be here, and there's nothing in here that makes any sense of why it's here. But this is the third time I've had this smell. It's actually cloying at the back of my throat. It's so strong, I can feel it, making my mouth dry.
Other than the smell, is there anybody else that you're picking up down here with us?
The answer is yes, and I think it's linked to this smell.
Got to remember that, of course, that Guy's Cliffe began its life on a ecclesiastical level, and this may well be an adaptation of a very early hollow that simply became a wine cellar.
So it may not always have been what we're seeing now.
Yeah.
Well, that might explain then, because the figure that I've got here is what I can only describe as a monk. He's in a robe, he's got a piece of rope around his waist, he's a monk.
Can you communicate with him?
He's wearing a black robe, so it's a black hood and cowl, or whatever the word is. He's not talking though at all. He's not talking, which leads me to say that he can't talk, or it's a silent order. He can't talk, but he is swinging this incense. The smell is coming from around him. I have to tell you, it's a little bit unnerving for me at the moment, because it doesn't feel right.
Does he know you're there? Is he aware of you?
He's aware of me, yes.
And is he unhappy you're here?
I think he is.
Are you picking him up, Shelley?
I am picking an entity up, and I picked him up behind Dino. I couldn't tell if it was a monk, it was just a dark figure. And, yeah, it associated with that smell, yeah. I just feel as though he doesn't want us in here, as though this is some kind of quiet place, you know, where monks would go and just do writing or something.
It is a disapproving. He not happy with us here, really not happy with us here.
This place is bigger as well. You haven't got, I mean, it's a wine cellar, and you've got like the little sort of cubby hole things, but there's no cubby holes. You know what I mean? I can sense that there's no cubby holes. It's more like a big cave.
So you're actually seeing it as it was, not as it is?
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
I'd go with that. It feels like it's a lot bigger. It feels like it's a big vaulted room. It feels like it's a lot bigger than it. It doesn't feel like a cave.
No.
But I can see vaults and arches and things, but it feels a lot bigger than it is. I'll go with that.
I do feel that this man has done a lot of writing down here. Whether he's writing something historical, you know, but not actually about this particular place, Guy's Cliffe. But he is doing a lot of writing.
What sort of time frame?
Long time.
Long time ago.
13 something.
Yeah, long time ago. It feels medieval.
Yeah.
It's old, very, very old.
Where is it? I haven't got the torch on. It's black in here at the minute. But is there any?
I've got a name.
Go on.
Okay, I've got a name. It's a little bit vague. I can't quite get the full thing. It sounds to me like Dubricious. There's more than one now. There's more than the one.
Are they all linked?
Yeah, it's right time period, medieval time period, but there's something a bit dark about what's going on here. It's not as...
It's getting actually darker in here, isn't it?
Yeah. And colder.
It's not just what it seems. It's a monk, it's religious, but it's darker. There's something more, and I can feel darkness closing in. I know I can see darkness because it's getting darker, but I can physically feel darkness closing in, like there is something happening here. But the incense smell is getting stronger and stronger and stronger.
So just brushed past the bottom of my leg.
Okay, listen.
Sorry.
Apart from Shelley and Dave that we're speaking to, can anybody else in the room feel that it is getting colder? Is it just me? Or
I've also just felt a breeze. Yeah.
What about you, Donna? Do you find anything?
I would say it's getting darker, but that's all I can feel at the moment. It's definitely getting darker.
Yeah,
to begin with, when you came in, you couldn't see where everybody was, but you could just about make things out. And now it's just gone absolutely pitch black, hasn't it?
It was like after a bit of being in here, your eyes sort of adjusted and you could see.
Now it's getting darker.
Yeah, but now you can't see nothing at all. I can't even see my hands in front of me.
Does anyone else feel like there are people behind them?
I've got a feeling that somebody's trying to push me backwards to lie down, and I've got a feeling that maybe it's something to do with one of the monks or the abbot or whoever it was in here, priest, whatever. But he's got some lung problem and he's having trouble breathing. I could hear him sort of, like that, sort of really deep breathing. And I think maybe whoever it was, died here. Yeah, it's a real sicky, tight lung feeling. Why, I don't know, but maybe this is his place where he spent most of his time, but he's really... I've got another spirit coming through now. not from that time period.
When's this one from?
This chappie is, I think he's connected with the wine. He's rather tipsy. And he's sort of, oh, hello, honey, you know, sort of, he's had a few, he had a little tipple. He's come down here to be quite secret and continue his drinking. And he's right in front of me. I can see his shape in front of me.
Are you just getting the monks, Dave?
No.
Who are you getting now?
I've got a man here.
Okay, and what is this man?
All I'm getting at the moment is, you disgust me.
Who disgusts you?
You, all of you.
And why do we disgust you?
The women, all of you.
So women shouldn't be here?
No, you disgust me. I can really feel, looking down at my nose, just don't want you here.
And who are you?
I feel really cocky and just, you know, this is my space, this is, but all of you just... It's very dark energy.
Do you have a name?
Not at the moment, no.
And what would this person have been doing in here?
I don't know, I'm leaning against the... Whatever it is, I've got no idea what I'm leaning against. I'm leaning against it and I've got my legs crossed. It's like, this is like my place. Just, what are you doing here?
And is this from the... Is this from the same time that we've been talking? No, this is... So this is as... Oh, what's that?
No, this is much more recent.
I want to step back, but I don't want to step back. Do you know what I mean? It's like there's something not right there, but there's that's how I feel. He's not right in front of me.
Very negative energy.
Oh, it's very, very negative, this is.
Don't like it.
It's got colder.
It has got colder.
Yeah.
You're nothing. That's what it is, you're nothing, you are.
Are we talking women here?
Yeah.
So this wouldn't have been somewhere that women would have gone?
Oh, it's where he brought them.
So this man would have done something to women here in this area?
Yeah, but you're nothing. You're nothing, you are.
And what would you do with these women that are nothing?
I'm not going to tell you. You, though, something about you.
Who?
Over there.
Oh, God.
Something about you.
Dave.
He's gone to Jules, pointing at Jules.
Yes, there's something about you. What is it about you? Don't like you. Why don't I like you? I don't know, this you, it's you.
Who, Dave?
This one in the corner, him.
Jules.
Why? What is it about you? Don't you touch me. Don't you touch me. Take your hand off my shoulder.
Who are you?
Don't touch me. Don't you touch me.
Who are you?
No one that you need to worry about.
I'm not worried about you. I just wonder who you are.
Come on, give us your name.
What is your name?
You know who I am.
Tell me.
You know me as Jonathan.
Jonathan. Have I met you before, Jonathan?
They can't keep me away, you know.
Where did we meet before? Jonathan,
They try
move
and
back.
keep me away.
Jonathan.
Okay.
How do I know you from before? Where did I meet you before? Jonathan.
You've met me here.
Doing what?
We've been here before.
Doing what?
But you're fine. I don't want you. But you know that. And you, hiding at the back. I know where you are.
Who's behind?
Me and Shelley. Who are you talking about?
I don't want you.
Caroline, try talking to Dave.
Dave. Jonathan.
Yes.
Are you always down here?
No.
What were you?
I go wherever I want. Don't I?
Just trying to get past.
Right, you're not going to go past, Jonathan. Did you used to bring people down here that were scared of you?
Just a laugh.
Just what? What did you do with them?
Bit of fun.
But not fun for them. What happened to them?
Doesn't matter.
Why are you still here now? Don't you move on?
They're nothing.
And what are you?
You're nothing.
What are you?
You're nothing.
And what are
You're
you?
nothing.
And you're nothing.
You're nothing!
Dave.
Dave, are you okay?
Dave.
He's far away.
Can you get Andy?
You okay, Dave? You okay, Dave? Yeah. You okay?
It's Donna.
Right, sir.
Donna's right behind.
Okay.
So is that who he was trying to get?
I don't know. Dave, you okay?
Dave, are you okay?
He's all right.
I think that at this juncture, you are freezing, Dino.
Sorry.
You are.
Yeah.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm just a bit worried because I thought Donna was.
Donna was
next to me.
here. I thought Donna was
Yeah.
next to you.
Yeah.
I moved behind you.
Yeah, you stood here, weren't you?
Yeah, and then
So somehow everybody's just moved around in here.
Yeah, and we've experienced that before. So.
Well, that isn't how we began because you were over here to begin with.
Dave walked past me to Jules,
I
and
was
then
up
you wanted
against
to get
here,
through, so
somehow
I
I ended
edged
up
back so you
there.
could get through. And then
So
I
was this
edged back even
Jonathan?
more.
Was this Jonathan going for Shelley or for Donna?
For Donna.
Dave.
Dave,
Yeah, with us, mate.
you back with us?
Yeah.
Right. I think we ought to leave here for now and go somewhere else and perhaps come back. Can we actually come back here later? Can we leave anything recording down here?
Yeah, we've got a second mic that we can leave rolling in here. Just see if anything is picked up. If there is any activity down here, we can record. Just see if we can get any sounds or.
Okay. Andy, do you want to take Dave out?
Do you want to come with me, Dave?
Right, all the other guys have gone out. There's just Dino and I in here. This is freezing in here, and I don't like what just happened in here, to be honest with you. I hate it when that happens to him because it's like he's not him anymore. And I can't believe how cold it's gone in here, considering it was actually warm when we came in, wasn't it?
It's bitterly cold.
Your hands
I'm
are absolutely freezing.
I was quite warm, but then it went really cold. I've set up a microphone in the corner of the room to record.
Yeah.
So we can, for the next sort of half an hour, let that roll. The only thing that I was concerned about down in here when Dave was the Jonathan was the fact that because we'd all moved round.
We don't know who he was at.
Donna was in the corner with Shelley, so I'm not sure whether it was Shelley or Donna that this Jonathan was talking
I think when we come back down here next time, we should come back down here with fewer people. We'll come back down with half the amount of people so that it will be clear if Jonathan comes back again, just who he's trying to get to. Right, let's leave the wine cellar and just head up to the top room. It's all started off a little bit early, the action tonight, to be fair. And I'm not entirely comfortable with this. So, our first encounter with a dark force at Guy's Cliff. Now, Dave, you picked up some sort of religious feeling, monks and a name while you were down there.
Yeah, the name that I picked up sounded like Dubricius or something like that. It was very difficult to hear because it was a very indistinct name, but it sounded like Dubricius to me.
And producer Dino, what have you found out then?
I've been going through some of the history of the area, especially around Warwickshire, and there's a book called The Antiquities of Warwickshire. Sir William Dugdale was behind that. Now, in the Antiquities, he says that St Dubricius fixed his episcopal chair sometime at Warwick. So basically, he sort of like looked after his, or tended his flock, so to speak, and did his religious bits at some point in Warwick. And during his time there, the most agreeable solitude was on the side of a rock upon the banks of the River Avon, about a mile from Warwick, and it was the place of his frequent retreats from the world. That area, near that rock upon the banks of the River Avon, has since been called Guy's Cliff.
What could you say?
Well, the Fright Night continues and things start to get very strange next.
The Sanctuary. Call 0330 66 00 111.
It's the Sanctuary Fright Night number 4. Thanks for your text tonight. Hi to Tim in Lebrue says, now, during your broadcast, a sweet odour entered my office at 2300 hours. It lasted about 10 minutes. A voice I recognised as my grandmother gave me a warning. So at this point, good night. There we are. Have we lost Tim then? Hi to Kyle Hughes from Hereford who says, I have started feeling sick whilst listening to this. Steve in Birmingham says, ooh, that's weird. Dave's voice changed when Jonathan took over. I'm scared. Somebody else says, where are you doing this Fright Night tonight? It's from Guy's Cliff and it's just outside of Warwick.
But can I just point out, we are not there now.
No.
We are in the studio and this is us broadcasting what happened while we were at Guy's Cliff.
Absolutely. Yeah, we did this a couple of weeks ago, to be fair. I have put a link to Guy's Cliff on my Facebook wall, just in case you want to go and check it out and have a little look for yourself and see all that they do. If you do want to go on to Facebook, it's Caroline Martin The Sanctuary. Okay, Caroline Martin The Sanctuary. We put photos up there too, so you can go and have a look through the photos. It might bring it alive for you a little bit more because you can see where we went, you can see some of the rooms, and also you can see the people involved on there as well.
well. Now, if you do make anything out on the photos, because lots of people have commented saying that they can see figures, they can see orbs, they can see this, that and the other. If you do see anything, if you spot anything on there, then you can just tag it, okay? Tag the spot that you can see something at and say what you see, and then everybody else can go and have a look and see if they can make anything out too. So that's Caroline Martin, The Sanctuary. Facebook, Caroline Martin, The Sanctuary. You can Twitter us tonight, tweet us at On The Sanctuary, okay, at On The Sanctuary. And if you want to text in, if you're listening and anything strange starts to happen, maybe like some of the texters so far, things in the room go cold, you hear voices, or you notice something in the broadcast, notice something, some tapping, or, you know, we've already had a message about that tonight, or anything in the background. If you hear that, then text through and tell me what it is that you can hear. 87867 on the text. Right. Unlike most of our Fright Nights, where a lot of the action and activity happens in certain rooms or places, at Guy's Cliffe we seem to be surrounded by odd things happening, unexplained noises, shadows, and things that were making us feel very uneasy.
I would just like to say, at this precise moment of time, I've just been to the kitchen to get a sweet. And as I was walking down towards the kitchen, I noticed that there's only one of the two candles left alight, the black one. Which means the nice, calming, lovely energy has left the building, and we now only have dark energy left.
Hold on.
The dogs are going mad.
The dogs will when there's a paranormal activity.
So it's not just us that are spooked, it's the dogs in the background as well.
Dogs pick it up, you see. They sense it.
Can you hear whispering?
Over there.
Yeah.
It's over there.
I thought it was you.
No.
You were in the wine cellar before, and somebody
Over
went
there.
like that.
I just
over
heard
there.
a whispering as well.
Yes.
It's towards the coach house. While I was talking to Dave and Shelley, we heard whispering and footsteps. What is going on? Is there somebody in there? We're just approaching the coach house area. I'm convinced I've just heard something in there.
Somebody talking.
Yeah. I'm just going to try and open the door to the coach house. Hello?
Footsteps. Somebody walking in.
I'm in the coach house with Shelley. It feels like there's somebody in here. Is there anyone in here? There's a light.
Yeah.
There's something in the back.
Yeah, there is.
Like it's brighter in that corner.
Yeah. I can smell sawdust as well.
Yeah. I'm going to try and go in further into the room.
A very, very pressing headache now.
Are you sensing anything?
Yeah. Something's trying to drain my energy. I'm not being funny, but I think we should back up. Who's here?
What was that? What was that?
God, it's moving at the back. It's
Out,
very
out, out. Lock
negative.
it in. Lock it in. Lock it in. Lock it in. Lock it in.
Oh my God!
This is not turning into a pleasant Fright Night at all.
Oh.
This is becoming most unpleasant.
You've got elemental in there. Nasty one.
What happened there?
We heard, well, after we came out from the wine cellar, we heard somebody whispering over there, and there were footsteps towards the coach house. As we got towards the coach house, you could hear there was something behind the door.
It's elemental.
Like a manifestation of energy or something like that. This is not cheering.
Good then. Good.
Top room.
Yes, top room now.
Who's here?
Now, did you hear that when Dean and Shelley were in the coach house,
Jacob, yeah.
that was there, wasn't it?
We thought it was somebody shuffling. We thought somebody else, because there was Shelley and I were in there and Donna was just outside, and we thought it was Donna who shuffled across or something. We thought somebody else might be in there. So all we heard was like a shuffle. But when we played it back, you could clearly hear someone saying Jacob.
So let's just clarify. In that room, there was just you and Shelley.
Yeah.
And that's it.
That's it.
And so you didn't make that noise.
Nope.
You didn't say Jacob. Neither
Nope.
did she. So
Nope.
that came from somewhere.
Yeah, we thought it was the sound. We thought we'd heard somebody move in there, which is why we said back up, lock it in. So when we heard the audio back, it sounded like Jacob. We have looked up, there are 2 references online of a Jacob at Guy's Cliffe, and one of the references is a groom that used to work in the coach house, in the stables.
There we are then. OK, well, after that, we headed to another area that would leave us all feeling shaken. One of the team was singled out for attention by, well, whatever it was.
The Sanctuary.
Now, our 4th Fright Night, which we did at Guy's Cliffe in Warwickshire, was making us all feel very edgy. A mysterious, dark character called Jonathan had already made his presence known through our resident psychic Dave Matthews, and Dave was already beginning to pick up other characters. So we headed deep into the heart of Guy's Cliffe, in an area of the old house called the Top Room.
Prophecy.
The top room. The top room.
Right, we're going to go off up to the top room then, now, following these things that look like tracks, but I still don't know what they are. Up we go, through an archway and into this building here. OK, now this is the one that we didn't know what it was earlier on, but we thought that, well, let's not think. Let's wait and see what Dave picks up on as he comes in. I can't look at you the same anymore. I just don't feel that I want to be completely near you. You can stay there. Okay. It's fine, since you've been Jonathan, to be honest. How do you feel now? Has he gone? Has he left you? Is he somewhere around? What's going on?
You've got quite a lot going on here, to be honest. A lot of hustle and bustle. A lot of very strange things going on here. A lot of very strange things going on. And I've got to tell you that the thing I'm most conscious of at the moment is the desire to go further on.
Further
like
on?
I say, further on.
And are you you? Because you don't look you-ish.
No, I don't feel like me.
And this is where I'm feeling
Samuel.
uncomfortable. Samuel?
Yes.
Who's Samuel?
Don't know. Samuel.
And tell me about Samuel. Is he anything like Jonathan?
No. It's a master, though.
Oh, really? A masterful person?
No, he's the master.
He's the master?
Yeah.
OK. Of all this?
Yeah.
And what sort of personality has Samuel got?
Quite cruel.
Cocky?
No, just cruel. My voice feels flat. Actually, it doesn't feel like me. It feels
Your
like a voice
eyes
flat.
are... It is cold, but your eyes are cruel. Would he be cruel? Is
Yes.
that a word to
Yes.
use to describe him? Cruel.
Yes.
And where does Samuel want us to go?
Further on.
Will Samuel lead us further?
No. Samuel never leads. Samuel takes.
Is Samuel blocking out anything else coming through in here? And why are you looking at her like that?
Sorry?
Why are you looking at Donna like that?
Didn't
Why are
know
you
what
looking
was.
at the lady like
Sorry,
that?
didn't know.
OK. So I'm talking to Samuel. Can I still talk to Dave?
Yes.
Right, Dave. This is getting hard now. so,
Sorry.
so are you Dave or Samuel?
Both. You have to bear with me. It's a bit difficult.
Right.
He's a very strong character. This is me, this very strong character.
If I ask you, Dave,
Yes.
to come with me
Yes.
down there,
Yes.
will you come?
Yes.
Is that good?
Yes.
Is
I'm
that
confused.
Good?
I'm confused.
But you keep looking at her. Why do you keep looking at that lady? Are you looking at her as Dave or Samuel?
Don't know.
Flipping heck, love. Right, Dave, Samuel.
This way,
We're
then.
going this way. So we're going through. He is walking with purpose, isn't he? It's pitch black. He's striding off as if he absolutely knows where he's going.
A good 20 feet ahead of us.
And now he's gone into another room completely. Considering that it's dark, he can't really have the bearings of this place. He seems intent on going. Oh, here. OK. Now, Samuel,
Yes.
I take it.
Yes.
Samuel, can you tell us more about you? Can you tell me more about you?
What do you want to know?
I want to know who you are.
It's my house. Mine. I built this house. Well, I didn't build this house.
Somebody built this house for you.
Yes.
You look nothing like Dave.
Samuel, you seem very...
What?
Almost... Why do I want to keep... Is this a nervous laugh? You are actually Samuel.
Yes.
Don't you wonder who we are?
No, not really.
Oh, are we okay to be here?
Yes.
You don't mind?
No.
Good.
It's not like you're important, is it? This way. Mark?
No, not Mark. Not Mark, never Mark. Just following you.
This is like a labyrinth in here.
Are you seeing this as it is now or as it was?
Yes, used to keep them in here, you know.
Keep who in here?
Them.
Who's them?
Them.
Can you elaborate on them?
It's them. They have no value.
Women?
No. Well, sometimes.
People? Men?
Yes.
Women?
Staff.
Staff?
Slaves.
You had slaves?
To keep them here.
And what did they do for you?
Well, work, of course.
What work? Work around the house? Work outside?
Everywhere.
For you? To you?
And sell them. What else would you do with a slave?
Well, you tell me what you did with yours.
Foolish woman.
Are you still Samuel?
Who are you?
I'm no one.
So why are you here?
To find you?
You found me. Why are you here?
To find out more about you? But if there's nothing interesting to know, I could go.
Look me up in the records. St. Kitts. You'll find me.
We can't go any further down there. So we'll have to either wait for Samuel to come back. Does anybody know anything about this St. Kitts?
I have no idea. Aid or Shelley?
Yes. St. Kitts and Nevis, that's where the family, Samuel Grady's family, had plantations. So a lot of their wealth was derived on the back of slavery. And Samuel, raised in the Caribbean, educated in England, and then came to Guy's Cliffe, purchased his property, built the second house here.
What, and had slaves here?
It's rumoured there were slaves brought to this place here. There are perhaps one or two indicators that certainly people from that part of the world were brought here.
And what happened to him in the end?
Well, Samuel lived a reasonably short life, yeah. He wasn't gentry as himself, but he married into gentry. And that gave him some status amongst people of that standing, yeah.
And what room are we in?
What would this have been? Because I know that it's open.
It's almost like a cellar.
Right.
In between other rooms that are probably acting as storerooms and passageways through.
Dave? Dave?
Yes?
Are you Dave now?
There's a really odd noise then.
Such as what?
Almost like a ripping noise.
Yeah, but that was from over there, wasn't it? Was that?
No, it was right
I never
here.
heard that.
I didn't hear anything.
No, I didn't.
I thought that was somebody clicking something. It was just a normal. No, was it?
No.
Nobody clicked anything.
It sounded like if you're tearing material.
I don't want to take my eyes off him because I don't quite know.
If it's
I don't
Dave.
have Andy. I don't know who he is. How much further we can take this with Samuel? What's the matter?
It's all right. I felt like I was in a complete daze.
I heard something then. Over there. Did you?
Let's go over there and look.
In there.
Is this where he used to keep them? He said.
You've got to keep an eye on him as well.
Right, I'm going in here, okay? And this is like, this is like a cellar thing, isn't it? This is like a cellar thing. Is this, when he said slaves? Samuel? Are you Samuel or Dave? Samuel, is this where you used to keep them?
Keep who?
You slave. You're not Samuel anymore, are you now? You're Jonathan now.
Yes.
Right, Jonathan, this isn't your bit.
I can go wherever I want.
Well, clearly, but where's Samuel gone? Right, can you stand back a bit, please? Stand back, Jonathan. Jonathan, I am not afraid of you. I'm not afraid of you now. What do you want? And what did you do here?
Looked.
Looked.
Just looked.
Looked at who?
People. Don't hide. Just makes the game more fun.
He's, at the moment, Jonathan is trying to get to, well, it looks like Donna. Shelley is between the two. And everybody...
You see, you could be completely wrong. You just could be so completely wrong. You see, just maybe there's somebody completely different who's of interest.
Okay, I've run out of places to back into now.
Right, Dave is
Step
kind of
behind me,
cornered.
Jules. Step behind me. Step behind me.
Jonathan, you're not going to get to him. You're never going to get through him.
Now, our Fright Night number 4, which we did at Guy's Cliffe in Warwickshire, was making us all feel very edgy. A mysterious dark character called Jonathan had already made his presence known through our resident psychic Dave Matthews. And then we went, this point, to the next room. Oh dear, I'm sorry, I'm reading all of these messages that are coming in, and to be quite honest with you, people are getting quite worried about this tonight, Dino, and they're sensing all different sorts of things. We've got bags flying off of wardrobes,
There's lots
noises
of things
being
coming in on
picked
the
up.
Facebook as well. Aaron Rose says, the ripping noise, the spirits have to have energy to manifest. That's what the noise was, the spirit or the spirits manifesting.
And that is what that noise, the ripping noise is.
That's what they're saying.
Oh, right. Well, at this point, I must stress that we don't claim to have any evidence of actual haunting on our Fright Nights. We merely go to these locations and record what happens with our psychics, be it strange noises, spirits that come through, or whatever you want to call them. Now, in the top room, we'd already had a character called Samuel come through, and the return of someone who seemed to be following us around called Jonathan. It was this character which was singling out our photographer Jules. But why?
Don't hide. Just makes the game more fun.
At the moment, Jonathan is trying to get to what it looks like Donna. Shelley is between the two, and everybody.
You see, you could be completely wrong. You just could be so completely wrong. See, just maybe there's somebody completely different who's of interest.
Okay, I've run out of places to back into now.
Right, Dave is
Step behind me, Jules. Step behind me. Step behind me.
Jonathan, you're not going to get to him. You're never going to get through him. Andy's there, and he's never going to let you get to him. Jonathan? Dave?
Yeah.
Oh, God. How many people can you be in one night?
You okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine.
Well, that was confusing. So we've had Samuel, who kept slaves in here. We've come in here, you followed us in here, you are then Jonathan. So presumably you weren't after a woman, you were after a man.
I don't know. But this feels different to over there.
Mm.
It does feel different.
I got the feeling when Dave stood there, I knew he was going to say he wasn't Samuel. We all come in here, Dave was stood at that entrance.
At the doorway into
At the
this
doorway,
area.
yeah. And his face changed again. And I knew he was going to say
He
Jonathan.
looks nothing like Dave again.
Yeah. And that Samuel had gone as well, because his face in there as Samuel was different to when he was stood there. And I knew he was going to say Jonathan. And I knew when he was stood there, he was going to turn round to me.
Right, is this Jonathan? Is he, if I could just ask Shelley, is he known to go around everywhere? Does he go around everywhere normally? Have you encountered him much before?
Only in the wine cellar. We've only ever...
So he's only ever been in the... Is this the same Jonathan that was in the wine cellar?
I don't believe for a minute this is the same Jonathan.
So this is a different Jonathan?
I think that this is somebody completely different, yeah.
So this is not the Jonathan in the wine cellar, this is a different one, but you acted the same, because you were after the same...
I believe there were
Jules?
actually two people that worked in the wine cellar to attack these women. One was a servant to bring the girls into the wine cellar, and the other one did most of the attacking.
Right.
So I think that this person who says he's Jonathan is the servant.
So this is the first time we've had the story of an attack.
Oh, right. Yeah, sorry. There was numerous girls that I believe were attacked, but of course, in the Georgian days and Victorian days, things were covered up. You know, skeletons stayed in the cupboard. Nothing came out, just rumours amongst the servants. So psychically, there is definitely a girl that I picked up who was horribly raped. And I mean horribly beaten, tortured and raped in the wine cellar.
Did she die in there?
I don't believe she actually died of her injuries, no. I believe she went on to have a baby, and that's how she died, in childbirth.
When we was in there, and I think Dave was Samuel, he said he'd come to look.
Oh, so you said, yes.
He said he'd come to look, didn't he?
Right.
So I'm wondering if he was looking for the people to work. Oh, he's off again.
Guys, back up.
Right, Dave's off again as... Jonathan? Jonathan? Are you Jonathan? All right.
Sorry, what? Me?
No, you're you.
It's me.
Can I just ask a question of Shelley? Do we have any surnames for Jonathan?
No. I got the feeling that Jonathan was an illegitimate child of the master. Who his mother was, I don't know. I can't say whether she... I don't know who was... Samuel was his father, but I do get the feeling it could be Samuel, and maybe one of the slaves could be his mum.
What are you thinking, Andy?
I'm just trying to get a bit more background information, really, because if we've got two Jonathans, it can obviously get very confusing if we have any idea of surnames. So if we do get Jonathan again, let's see if we can get a surname, something that would distinguish the two.
Can I ask you, Andy, because you'll know this, can spirits move from place to place?
Yes.
So if we are encountering a spirit here now, could we have encountered this spirit before?
Yes.
So it wouldn't be wrong of me to say that this Jonathan seems familiar to a Jonathan that we've had at a previous Fright Night.
He does indeed, which is why you've noticed me hanging back a lot tonight. I'm doing a lot of observing and just watching what's going on, and indeed now I'm just going to have to step across. In fact, no. If we can just watch and see what happens here. Jules, do you want to just stand by me?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Dave is circling like... And it's Jules. It's all based around Jules. Jules is the one that's filming this tonight, and it's all based around Jules. He is being very predatory, but we're not getting anything from him. Jonathan?
You have something I want.
What's that? What do you want?
Did anybody actually pick up what Dave whispered there?
I almost sounded like
very quiet.
Did whisper.
It sounded something weeks.
Yeah, 10 weeks.
Dave, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
You sure? You okay staying here, or do you want to leave?
I'm all right.
This is very confusing.
Okay, Andy, you must stop me from getting to Jules.
That's it.
You must stop me from getting to Jules.
Do you know who this is now, Dave?
Yes.
And is it anything connected to this building?
Yes, it is. And I think the problem you've got is that we have something that is really quite, I think, dangerous here. It's very dark indeed. It's actually something that frightens me a little bit, because I think I know who it is. I think I know what it is. Certainly, it's Jonathan, but I think that the problem actually is Jules. But
Jonathan wants Jules.
No, Jonathan doesn't want Jules, but...
Is it because he's got the video camera?
No.
No?
What's he got?
I think I know, but I don't want to discuss it at the moment.
Yes, I think you do know.
We really need to know.
Yeah, we need
to know for this.
I'm fairly certain I know why it's heading towards Jules.
For this to make any sense to people listening, we're going to have to find out. Is there any way that...
Andy, can we go outside and talk?
We'll need to stop and have a chat first.
Right, let's go back out.
Should we chat here?
Yeah, we'll just give the guys a chance to
Cool.
Okay. This is to do with Joe, isn't it?
Yes.
Jules' wife's pregnant, and due in about 10 weeks' time.
Oh.
Yeah. That's why I wanted to stop and chat with Jules and see if he's okay to pursue with it, but obviously if not, this is something that could be quite serious.
The problem you've got is you've already got the answer, because Shelley said that the woman died in childbirth. And I don't think that it's aimed at Jules or Joe. I think it's the fact that this man fathered a child and it was taken away from him because she died in childbirth. And I think that Jules is about to have a child, and it's the energy.
It's the energy that he's
it's nothing. It's the energy, and that Jules has that energy around him.
Obviously, we'll have to chat to Jules. I mean, he will know from what it means from 10 weeks now. Jules has done quite a few of these with us, but obviously never along this line. And it's something that could potentially be quite upsetting.
It is very dark and very uncomfortable.
Yeah. Okay.
So Jules is almost like a...
It's a talisman, a beacon.
Yes.
That's
it's like a light.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that explains it.
Moth to the light. But it was one of those that we had to really stop and discuss it before we could see if we could go.
If Jules is happy with it, I am 100% certain it is not any kind of premonition. It's nothing like that. I'm 100% certain it's the energy.
Yeah.
He has a glow about him. Yeah. Yes, you've got something over your head actually at the moment, like a shadowy thing behind you. There's
that ripping again.
There was also a chain I heard.
I think we're going to have to wait and see what progresses during the night, what comes to light.
Okay.
But there may be a point where we have to say, enough.
Step out of your comfort zone and in to the sanctuary.
Guys Cliffe for our fourth Fright Night. Dark forces seem to be at work around us. Underground in the wine cellar and again in an underground area beneath the great house, a malevolent character called Jonathan had attracted itself to our friend Jules. Or was it Jules's unborn child that he was more interested in? We needed explanations, but all we got next were more mysteries.
Jules' wife's pregnant. And due in about 10 weeks' time.
Oh.
Yeah. That's why I wanted to stop and chat with Jules and see if he's okay to pursue with it. But obviously, if not, this is something that could be quite serious.
The problem you've got is Shelley said that the woman died in childbirth. I don't think that it's aimed at Jules. I think it's the fact that this man fathered a child and it was taken away from him because she died in childbirth.
Now, Jules has done quite a few of these with us, but obviously never along this line, and it's something that could potentially be quite upsetting.
It is very dark and very uncomfortable.
Yeah. I think we're going to have to wait and see what progresses during the night, what comes to light.
Okay.
But there may be a point where we have to say, enough.
Where's Caroline? Basically, this Jonathan is being attracted to Jules because Jules is about to become a father, and the 10 weeks is
due date.
Right.
This Jonathan
lost a child in childbirth.
Right.
And it's.
Did you see that?
What was that? That was something.
It's almost like a talisman, like a beacon. He's been drawn to Jules because he's got that same glow, if you like. I'm about to go into fatherhood. Jonathan.
Yeah.
There you go, mate. You got a minute?
Yeah.
This is all very odd.
Basically, what's going on?
Yes, it is.
He's been drawn to you. He lost a child in childbirth. You become like this big beacon.
Yeah.
Because obviously, what's going on with you? Are you happy to continue with this?
Yeah.
It's not.
Okay.
I need to stress. It's not any kind of premonition.
Yeah.
It's nothing like that.
Oh, absolutely.
That was my
energy.
concern.
It's energy.
Yeah.
You've got this energy.
Something out here.
There is something over there.
What is out here?
It's not very nice. It's not very nice.
See, that's a security light that only comes on when something goes past it. And there's a noise over
What
there.
are those steps?
Should we go over?
We've come outside and we've got the explanation now as to why we had to stop down in the top room. So we've got that explanation. So hopefully that will make sense. So forewarned now is forearmed should it happen again. But as you can hear, we're outside, planes going over, and as we've been stood here, something is over towards that staircase over there. There's a little staircase going up, and there's something clicking, something, I don't know what it is, but there's something out here. So we've come to have a further look. Andy, what was over there? Anything?
Nothing that we can see. There's a hedgerow up above. It could have been wildlife scurrying along.
Let's take Dave over.
This is where this came from. What's behind that door? Is it locked? Oh, this is crawling. Oh, it's crawling with things.
Oh my God. Crawling with wood lice.
Oh, what's causing that? What's that? Because they shouldn't be out now. There's loads. It's covered.
The whole stairs are smothered in wood.
It's like swarming in them. Where did you come from? Oh, that is putrid. Oh, that is making me absolutely shiver.
That's like in the film Amityville. That room gets filled with flies.
Oh,
Yeah.
that is horrible. Why are they out at night? There's no wood around. That's disgusting, that.
God, thank God Laura's not here.
There's something out here, though. There's something out here.
There is something out here.
Where we stood, feel how cold I am.
Did you hear that? Keep still. What would be out here?
I can see somebody. I can see a black shadow.
In that gateway?
Yes.
Oh my God. Even I actually
Yeah, I can see it.
Especially if you look to the left or right of it, you can see it more.
A huge black shape.
What on earth is that? Let's walk towards that. It's absolutely icy out here. I can't actually. This is like the middle of winter. Oh, this is unpleasant.
I can still see that black shape.
Yeah.
It's like there's somebody stood in the gateway.
But there isn't. Because we're approaching the gateway. And as we approach it.
If ever there was a time that we don't need motion lights.
Right, we're walking back out towards the front now. We are actually, it's so cold. We're kind of like you come down the long drive and there's an entrance arch, as we described to begin with, where we thought there might have been a bell or something in years gone by. And we've been following this black shape, and this black shape is gone, but there is something still here. And now, that looks even worse, doesn't it, that building now?
The two faces that we saw earlier in the actual building now look sinister.
What was that?
Just a hand.
Ah! Look, stop it! Stop it! The hand. Who are you now? Please don't be somebody bad again.
Just a hand.
A hand of who? Who are you? Not again. Jonathan.
No.
Samuel? Who now?
You know. You know.
And are you the...
Who are you?
Are you from here?
Black Hound.
How are we, Guy?
Guy of Warwick?
Guy Beecham. Not the first Guy Beecham. The second Guy Beecham was known as the Black Dog of Warwick, the Black Dog of Arden.
Is he nice?
He was a benevolent man. He was a kind man. However, he was a warrior. He was a fighter.
Is he the guy that you told me about?
This is the gentleman to do with a hill not far from here.
Yes.
How's your head?
This is the second Guy Beecham of Warwick. This is the man who executed Piers de Gaveston.
But he seems quite cheery.
He will be, because what he did in his eyes was a good deed.
Okay.
He was doing favours, but the thing is, with his position,
decapitated.
He will not stop for anyone. He is Lord and Master of all he surveys.
This is just confusing.
Yeah.
This is absolutely... We've got so many different things coming through, and they're all coming through, Dave, and I can't keep up.
We need to get back on track. We need to now go and do like a vigil somewhere.
Just to clarify, Andy.
Yeah.
He's Guy Beecham.
Right.
Because we came up here to follow a black shadow.
Yeah.
Is he now that person? What was that guy that we saw in the gateway making those noises?
It could well have been, seeing as we've got so close to it and Dave has picked up on it.
That he's now gone into Dave?
He's now gone into Dave.
OK, so that makes sense then. So we were walking up here because we heard the noises. We were drawn up here to this black shadow, because now, I don't know if you can feel the energy is completely different. It doesn't feel like there's anything behind or in front of us. So I can only assume that whatever it was is now in Dave and has gone up there.
This is where I can give you the heads up on this. We may come across two guys as well.
Right.
You have the second Guy Beecham, who is known as the Black Dog of Arden. You've also got the Guy Beecham, who was a hermit here, died here, and his wife committed suicide here. So if we get a guy, we've got to question, are you the Black Dog, or do you know Felice? That's the kind of questioning that we need to take the tack on, find out which guy we've got.
We can go. After all that excitement, we're going to head back in now. And I just think that we need 5 minutes to unravel this a bit, do you know what I mean? And work out what's what and who's who and where we go next. I think we need to go and take a different tact. We'll perhaps go back to the wine cellar later to check that microphone to see what it's recorded. But for now, I think that we ought to try something a bit different. Try something that we haven't tried for a while.
How's your head?
Dark characters, swarms of woodlice, mysterious growling, another spirit coming through our psychic Dave Matthews, of one of the 13th century owner of Guy's Cliffs, and more strange things were to come.
Sanctuary.
It's after midnight. Where have you been? If you've only just joined us, we're a good way through our Fright Night number 4 from Guy's Cliff in Warwick, and it's all getting a little bit spooky, if the truth be told, and I think it's affecting people in many different ways tonight. As you are listening, if you could keep contacting us, that would be absolutely fantastic. It's 87867 on the text. That's 87867. You can give us a call on 0330 6600 111, and also Facebook, Caroline Martin, The Sanctuary. Now, if you want to nip on there, we have put some photos from the night, so you can go and have a look at the photos, see where we went, see some of the rooms that we went in, and also there's pictures of all the people that were there as well, so you can put a face to the names too. Curious things happening though, Dino.
Loads of odd things. So we've had the woodlice. The woodlice were just bizarre. They were just creepy.
Yeah.
For anyone that doesn't understand, woodlice don't normally come out and congregate on a concrete, well, no, it wasn't even concrete, like an old stone set of steps. But these were just swimming with woodlice.
I don't think that the picture actually doesn't do it justice, really, to what it was like. I think we got there a bit too late with that camera. They'd wiggled off.
I think the comedy of it was that we all went, oh, that's bizarre, oh, that's disgusting, oh, that's horrible. But we only noticed that after we'd sent Dave up the steps.
I was at the top of the steps, and I'd walked up there, and it sort of crunched a bit as I walked up, but didn't know what it was. And I was stood, and they were all over my shoes and everything. There were thousands and thousands of these woodlice.
Getting a good reaction as well on Twitter as well. I'm starting to worry a bit about Keely. Keely says that every time Jonathan comes through, she cries, and that she's fine when the adverts are on, but as soon as Dave starts talking and Jonathan comes through, she can't stop crying. Jack Donahoe on Twitter has put SH followed by a lot of I's and some T's. I'm that scared. I'm cold. I'm shivering. I'm slightly nervous about sleeping tonight. Therefore, see you later.
My iPhone is going mad and the radio in the lorry keeps searching, says Steve and Jamie. You've got to do another one and let us come. This is the last one, guys, okay? It is the last one. Elementals, which we call in our culture shapeshifters, once form a bond, they are there for life and not just one time.
There is a lot of stories and legends about shapeshifters, and it is believed that if you have one attached to you, then yes, they will be with you forever and ever and ever.
Can they be attached to a place then forever?
Absolutely.
Which could explain this, either this shadow or the thing that Shelley and I thought was in the coach house and then had moved to...
Or it could just be attracted to you, Dino.
Oh.
There we are then. Somebody else saying... commenting on about the fact we weren't there but you were. No, we were all there. We were all there on the recording of it. We're just trying to state that it's not live, okay? We're
not at Guy's Cliff.
We're not at Guy's Cliff at this moment. We are in the studio. It was recorded and we're playing it out now as we speak. And yes, if you do want to keep twittering, it's at On The Sanctuary, okay? At On The Sanctuary. Right, now we wanted to hold a vigil, but before we could do something called glass divination, we experienced a sudden burst of unexplained mysteries.
Quite a key thing, isn't it? Quite interesting.
It's almost as weird as your kettle.
What kettle?
My kettle. I made a drink, and then Andy and Jules come in the kitchen. I said, would you like a drink? Yes, please. So I boiled the kettle again. It boiled. I poured the drink out, and I went, this feels cold. Jules sipped it. He went, that's freezing cold. I said, oh, maybe I didn't boil the kettle. Andy and Jules said, no, you did boil the kettle. We felt the kettle. It was hot, but the water was stone cold. So we boiled it again, and within 2 seconds it was boiled and boiling hot.
What's going on tonight?
I don't know, but I don't much care for this, to be fair.
I thought I'd lost my marbles.
I'm crawling in things. I feel like I'm covered.
Oh, weird, and some more weird.
I really feel like I've got stuff crawling all over me. I really do.
Oh, God. You're getting some cheery orbs in here anyway. Oh, a lovely orb by your head, Marlene. Right, come along.
So are we in here then?
Yeah. Do you want to try in here? I mean, it's very convenient for us.
Sit?
Just all around here.
Just sit anywhere.
Just all around here.
Let's just do this with 4 then, yeah?
Okay. It's possible the tables will move anyway. But...
Well, on their own?
Well, last time, literally I told people just to put their fingers or even upright, so you can't affect it, you know. Just rest your palms, the edge of your fingers on it, and then they were just off.
Well, even when they're joined up like this?
Oh, yeah.
Be interesting.
You're the master of the ants.
What's that down there?
No, that was a knock.
No, that was something on the filing cabinet.
Oh, excellent.
Did you get that?
Well, microphone's on.
Anything weird happened?
Yes, we've had a bang from right back there.
On the filing cabinet.
You know how the dark candle was lit?
Yes.
Well, the dark candle is suddenly glowing very, very, very bright.
Hold on a minute. There's only one candle there. Where's the other one gone? Right. There is only one candle in that recess.
No, the one went out, didn't it?
Yes, but did somebody remove it?
What's
I've
there?
not actually been down there.
Look, what's there?
There's nothing there.
Where I put the other candle, there's a purple thing.
The little foil tray. Where is the little foil
Where's the other
container? That's what I'm saying.
Could it have blown away or anything?
Where? There's nowhere to go. Be here somewhere.
That's what I'm saying. I just came down and said, which one is still lit? Came down with my torch, and that's when I came and said, there's only one candle in here now.
That went really bright, didn't it?
So which was the positive candle and which was the negative candle?
That's the negative candle.
That's the negative
candle. The positive candle's
was green.
gone.
Need to ask any of the others if they've moved it. There's only one candle. They're obviously tea lights, and they're sitting in a little
Even if they've gone out
Yeah, it was
positive energy, one for negative energy.
Did anybody move it?
No, honestly.
That's the first time I've been in there.
Hand on heart.
What, just now?
No. Whatever it was, I said that the one candle had gone out. It was still there, but it had
Yeah,
gone
because
out.
you said to me one's gone out, didn't you? When was that? Was that when we all
That was
came
before we all
tea?
went down to that was a while ago, that was.
That candle, or what remains of that candle, is not there.
You've gone scarlet. Have you got an allergic
you've
reaction
gone
to
red.
something? Seriously, you really have.
I really seriously
Dean on those.
You made yourself bleed.
crawling with
What?
something. I really am. It's bizarre.
Dave was the only one who walked up the steps.
Oh my God, you did.
What step?
Don't you remember?
Those the steps with the wood.
We found when you were left down here. We went to look at these steps. They were crawling with wood lice, literally crawling. They were alive with
like
them.
a swarm of them.
And you were the only one that walked up and tried the door, and it was shut.
But even so, he's just going to tread on them. They're not going to go like up it unless he stood on them.
And it's not my legs. It's not my legs. It's literally here. But it's on my hands as well. It's on my hands as well.
Always
Look.
hide under bricks. We were saying, don't they? They hide underneath things. They never go.
No, you are
that.
actually. Give me a camera. We've got a camera.
Okay. Something else as well linking in.
What? You've actually made yourself bleed.
Oh my God, yeah.
Redness, itching, coming out in marks.
What?
Plague?
Oh, marvellous.
Great. Congratulations, babe.
No, any plague stories, any plague links?
Right,
you're aware of?
there is, isn't there? Because we've picked up on this sickness aspect within the coach house before, and the fact that they brought bodies into there, some of which they've come to us in spirit and told us that they weren't dead when they were put in there.
Yeah.
Now, whether or not it's plague related or some other illness,
You are looking a bit blotchy. No disrespect, but you look like.
It's obviously not real. There's obviously not anything actually crawling over me.
Do you think there could be any connection between those steps and that room? Could there have been anything put in that room once upon a time? Ever?
it's very possible. That's a very early room.
Because he's the only one that went up the steps. He's the only one that tried the door.
That's just strange.
And I know that nothing could have crawled up him in that time because we saw him stand on the door behind us.
Do we have any other volunteers to walk up the steps?
No.
Not now. There might have been earlier, but there isn't now.
Oh God.
Do you know, got marks on me?
Yeah.
So I've got bites on me.
It could be an allergic reaction to something.
Could be.
Can't rule that out.
Has
Can't rule
anything
that
been
out.
on those stairs that AD this week that
No,
would have
they
attracted the
always
wood
remain
lice to
pretty
eat
much
something on there?
untouched.
You know, like,
Okay, it's gone. It's
What?
stopped. It's gone. Stopped.
Just as the bells click.
Did on midnight.
oh my God.
Did on midnight.
You are joking.
Oh God. Oh no.
Oh my God. Oh, that's bizarre.
That was a bit bizarre, though, that at midnight, and I swear to you that it was midnight, that bell started striking and whatever it was just disappeared.
Well, it was very strange because I know Shelley was saying that maybe there was an allergic reaction to something on the stairs, but it wasn't on my feet, it was on my hands, and I hadn't touched anything, and it appeared, and it was like blotches all over my face, all over my hands. I was bleeding in my face. It was like weeping sores, wasn't it? It was really, really strange. And they literally disappeared in front of our eyes at the stroke of midnight.
I thought for a minute there you were actually going to strip off. Do you know what I mean? Because you were itching so much, weren't you? You were like, oh, it was like you wanted to rip your shirt off.
I actually felt like I had what I can only describe as spiders crawling all over my body. It was the most horrible feeling I have ever had.
Thank you for the reaction as well that's coming through tonight.
We've got quite a lot of people complaining that their iPhones and things are playing up, switching themselves off and stuff like that on the text. Robin Worcester says, Caroline, I work on my own in the dark and your show freaks me out, but I love it. Stuart in Coventry's driving home in the dark and really scared. Chris the Trucker says, our radio was seeking on and off, loving the show. And someone from the paranormal group called Most Haunted Spooked team has texted in to say that they're loving the Fright Night and want to know if we do another one, if we'll invite them.
No.
This is the last one.
This is the last one. After this,
You've got to read that one.
It's going to be
from
no more.
JP.
Oh yeah,
in Aston.
JP in Aston says, OMG, me and a friend are listening to your Fright Night whilst working, and there are rumours that there is a spirit here. Now, I've heard lots of stories about the ghost, but I've never felt anything myself until tonight. Me and my workmate were listening, and right down the other end of the factory where we're working, the lid of the bin flew off. Oh, we're refreshing. The lid of the bin flew off. I am so freaked out right now. My mate goes home at 1 a.m, but I'm here till 6. It's a long time, that, innit?
Poor you. Well, good luck with that. If anything else does happen to you and you want to tell us about it, 87867 on the text, okay? 87867. Facebook is Caroline Martin, The Sanctuary. Nip along there and you can check out the pictures from the Fright Night. Now, there's something I've wanted to do again on a Fright Night, something that we've not done since our first Fright Night last Halloween, and we'll try and make contact next.
Sanctuary.
Now, something we haven't done for a long time on a Fright Night is something called glass divination. Now, Dave, can you just give a brief explanation as to what that is?
Absolutely. One of the things that we don't do on Fright Nights is we don't use Ouija boards, because Ouija boards are a little bit dangerous, so I think they're something not to be messed with. So what we do is glass divination, which is a very simplified form where we can get yes and no answers only. It can't spell things out, it can't give names, it can't give dates, but it does allow us to make contact with yes or no answers.
So that's what it is, and that's what we did next at Guy's Cliff. Right, we're in the long room. Is this called?
Yeah.
Okay, the Undercroft, and we've all come. We've sat down, and 4 of us are about to. What's this called?
Glass divination.
Glass divination. Right. We ask spirit if it will come through. We'll see if the glass moves. So, what do we ask it then, Shelley? What are we going to ask it to do?
First of all, we move the glass around in circles just to get some energy into the glass.
Okay.
So that the spirits know, so that we can feel what it actually feels like when we are moving the glass.
Okay.
And then we'll stop the glass and we'll ask a spirit a question and ask it to move the glass round.
Okay.
To answer the question.
Right, we'll give it a whirl and see what happens. So, Spirit, are you with us?
There's a slight
It's moving towards me.
Yeah. Slight movement. It's not going round and round, it's just going towards Donna. If I could just explain, there are 4 of us with our fingers on the glass. There's Donna, myself, Shelley, and Andy. Andy and I are one side, Shelley and Donna are the other side. And Dave is to one side of me, which I'm not entirely comfortable with, but I hope he remains as him. Spirit,
Moving.
have we already talked to you tonight? Glass is moving.
It's moving.
I'm just going to set something as Spirit. If your answer is yes, can you move towards Shelley? If your answer is no, can you move towards me? If the answer is maybe, could you move towards Caroline? If the answer is ask again, could you move towards Donna? That way we should know from the glass, if we ask a question, what answers we're going to get. Okay, Caroline, if you will ask away.
Spirit, have we already spoken to you tonight?
To Caroline, I think.
No, I think it's me.
No, is it?
That's a no.
That's a no. Okay.
Should we move it back?
Thank you, Spirit.
I'm just moving it back. Okay.
Spirit, are you female?
That's moving towards me again, so that's no. Spirit, are you male?
Shelley.
Yes. Have we met you already tonight, Spirit? No.
No.
Are you connected to this area of the building, Spirit?
Oh, it's twisting it.
Ooh.
Yes.
Shelley.
So it's Spirit connected to this bit of the building.
Were you the gardener here?
No.
Do you have a message for anyone, Spirit? Is that you, Donna?
It's sort of middle.
Yeah.
That's sort of maybe yes.
Maybe, yeah. It's not quite me, it's not quite Shelley.
Yeah.
Okay, Spirit, if we can ask that question again, is there anybody in this room tonight that you want to speak to, that you want to pass a message to?
It's not moving.
It's not moving.
It's tap behind us.
Are you still with us, Spirit? Can you move the glass for us, please?
It's moving slightly.
Try again, Spirit. Please try and move the glass for us. Thank you. Thank you very much. Just going to ask that question again. Is there somebody here tonight that you want to get a message to? Ask again. Is there somebody here that you want to make contact with?
That's
Maybe.
me.
Is it a person sat at the table with a finger on the glass?
Ask again. Is that you,
Ask
Caroline?
I think it's more towards Caroline. Just to ask that again, Spirit, is it somebody who's sat at the table with their finger on the glass that you want to get in contact with, that you want to pass a message to?
Oh. That's gone to Shelley.
Yes. Yes. Spirit, can you move the glass towards the person that you want to pass this message to? Can you take it to the person that you want to get in contact with?
Whoa, that went really bad.
Okay, thank you. Can you just move this glass back to the centre of the table, Spirit? Thank you.
Spirit, as it's for me, this message, do I know you?
Ask again.
Maybe it's not for you.
Oh no.
Oh no.
No.
Yes, I think it's Dave.
Is the message for Dave?
Okay, Spirit, you're not being clear here. You're
Where's
not
that
being
going?
It's me. It's right in front of me
What does
now.
that mean? You're what?
Mine. Maybe.
Hang on,
Maybe.
hang on.
Is the message for whoever is with me at this moment in time, Spirit?
Yes, definitely.
Oh,
sure.
gosh.
Yes. Who is with you, Dave?
Is the message for Jonathan?
Nothing.
It's not Jonathan.
Is the message for
Samuel?
It's not Samuel.
It's a message for Guy.
Thank you, Spirit. Thank you.
It is Guy.
Which one?
Have we met Guy already tonight?
Ask again.
Ask again. Right. Have we met the Black Dog of Arden tonight? No.
Oh, it's not even stopping. Where's it going?
It's coming to me. It's coming to me. Okay. Spirit, can you move the glass back for us?
So, can we just clarify this then? So it's for Guy.
Yeah.
Is Guy here?
Yes.
Are you Guy?
Yes.
Is there anything you want to say, Guy?
The message isn't for me.
Who's the message for?
Is the message from Guy?
Yes. For Cornwall.
Cornwall.
Right, this glass is twisting. It makes no sense.
It's gone
at all.
pitch black.
Oh my God.
It's gone pitch black.
It's gone very dark. Thank
This
you.
is just weird now.
Thank you for bearing with us.
Extremely dark.
This table's wobbling.
There's a brightness on the table.
Yes.
Can you see?
Jules, just put your hand just gently on the table and confirm that this table is wobbling.
Looks like a vibration.
Yes,
yes.
Guy,
Glass is
Yes.
still moving.
can you answer any questions?
Yes.
Do you have a message for someone?
Yes.
And what is your message?
Okay, the glass is moving towards no.
No.
Is the message meant for somebody in this room?
Yes.
For somebody in here? Is that somebody actually in here? One of us?
No.
Is there another spirit in this
Yes.
room with us?
Okay. Guy?
Oh, the glass isn't moving
Yes.
in. Yes.
Guy, what is your message?
Joan.
Joan?
Yes.
Where is this other person in this room?
There.
Where?
Is it somebody that we can't see?
There. Bad. There.
Are you trying to protect us, Guy?
Yes.
The other spirit in the room, is it Jonathan? No.
Do you know who the other spirit is, Guy?
Yes.
Can you say?
No. There.
Guy's pointing towards Dino, towards you, Dino.
I can't.
Or is it Shelley?
Oh God.
I'm
Dana, have you put your hand on my back?
No.
Is it Shelley that you're pointing towards?
No.
Dean?
No.
Somebody we can't see?
Yes.
Stood behind?
Yes.
He stood behind me.
Yes.
Yeah, he's got his hand on my back.
Does he mean to harm her?
No.
Does he want
Not her.
you?
Yes.
Do you know this other
Yes.
spirit? Is he of your time?
Yes.
Is he a king's man?
Yes.
just had a white light go above your heads where Caroline and Dave are sat.
Cornwall.
Is this Piers?
Yes. Yes.
Right, the glass has gone straight to no.
Can we clarify here, Andy? This spirit in the glass, is it still Guy?
No.
Right.
Oh my God.
The spirit in the glass.
What is-
Are you
oh my God!
Oh,
I'm sorry. Somebody's just touched my head really strong at the front, and how could that be? Because it's a table here.
The camera shut itself off.
Yeah. Table's still moving.
I've got something in my... that just feels like it's over my head and in my eyes, like somebody's pulling something over my eyes.
There's lights again above your head.
Why would that be?
There's a bright light
Guy?
above.
Dave?
Movement on the table has ceased.
Where's Dave gone?
Dave?
Yes.
Are you Dave?
Yes.
Dave?
No, you're not.
You're not Dave.
You're not Dave.
Andy?
Yes.
There is something actually over my face. I can
Yeah,
feel that
it was on my face. It was touching my hair.
It's like somebody has moved. I've got a hand on my lap and a hand on the glass. Somebody has moved my hair.
Does it feel almost like spider's web?
Yeah. What is that?
To me.
And it's
Me.
going. It's keep going.
To me. Gone.
It's gone.
Andy.
I've not my hands on it.
Just going round.
My hands are not on the glass.
It's just going round and round.
Whose hands are on the glass?
Mine.
Mine's just
got one finger.
literally.
I've got
I've got one
on it.
finger on it. One finger.
These white lights on the roof here, are they meant to be there?
There's little flecks of light that keep
Yeah,
going past.
Spirit, do you want us to ask you a question? Are you impatient? Is this why you...
Whoa,
Whoa.
what's that?
How was that?
What was that over there?
Anyone got a torch, I think?
Yes, please.
That
Over there.
It was over
on
there.
the corner.
Oh, it's there.
So somebody's knocked that
It's
off?
on the chair.
Torch was on there. That was on the corner of the table over there.
The table was doing that. My camera just turned itself off.
You've had lights, like flecks of light streaming above your head.
Are you guys still?
No. I'll tell you, that's Jonathan.
You know what I saw?
Hang on.
I saw us when he.
That's Jonathan.
When
that
you were
is.
seeing specks of light, I could see like a spear
Yeah.
coming
Just
from his
There's
back.
like things coming away from your head like that.
Done.
There was
Who's with us?
my hair went.
You know what shooting stars look like?
Yeah.
Like that, like
went
flecks
all
of it.
around my face. Let's turn the torches back off.
What's that flashing?
Where?
Caroline, take a photo of Dave.
You need to take a photo of Dave.
That's not right.
He's-
Oh, that's horrible. Can I just describe on this picture? It's almost like his. Can you see that,
The
Andy?
face looks almost distorted.
It's like it's
not Dave's
blistering.
face,
It's
yeah.
like his face is blistered. Why would that be?
Could you ask him if he's Jonathan? Because
Did you see that go across the back of him there?
Well,
It was like
Something- yeah.
some flash went right behind the back of Dave's head.
Guy, are you still with us?
it's not
Are you?
Guy.
Who are you now? Dave. Dave.
Piers?
Samuel.
Edward.
I'm
Dave.
going to ask the spirit that's in with Dave.
Step out of your comfort zone and in to the sanctuary.
It's Fright Night number 4 from Guy's Cliffe in Warwick, our last and final Fright Night this is going to be. And I think that it's good to go out on a high. That's all I can say, because this one has had me riveted from start to what isn't even finished yet.
Can I just say that actually I feel sick? I do. I really feel
Oh.
ill. I'm listening back to this and it's
bringing
really
it
coming
back.
back and I feel sick.
You're
I
not
really
the
feel
only
sick.
one. Quite a few messages coming through. Like I said before, Keely on Twitter, who's been following us at On The Sanctuary, said that she's been feeling sick since Fright Night started and that she's crying every time the Jonathan comes through. Sydney, who often comes on the show, who we had on last week, is pregnant, has said, it's making me have contractions stronger. Not good. Little man will have to wait till the end of the show. I want to know what happens. Can't go into labour yet.
Oh, bless her, because she messaged earlier to say she was in slow labour. Well, it could get a little bit faster as the night goes on then.
Because we ain't finished yet.
Definitely not. But do contact us if you do notice anything, or just to give us your feedback on tonight's Fright Night. It's 87867, and you can also tweet us at On the Sanctuary, okay? @On the Sanctuary. Anyway, the night was drawing on, and with so many things happening to us, we were doing something called glass divination, which allows us to supposedly contact spirits by touching a glass and allowing the energy to move it. Again, the spirit of a man had come through Dave. Myself and Shelley had felt that we'd been possibly touched or stroked in the dark, and also seen strange lights and power outages were taking place.
I'm going to ask the spirit that's in with Dave.
What?
Guys, hang on. Spirit, what do you want with us? Why are you here? We asked you to come forward, and we'd like to know why you're here.
Caroline, UK.
Why is that door open?
Because I just slammed right into it.
Spirit, why are you with us?
Flipping heck.
Me.
Dave.
Me.
You okay?
Who were you?
What happened, Dave?
What happened there?
Any idea who that last one was, Dave?
No.
He was strong, wasn't he?
I didn't care for that spirit.
I had the feeling that he jumped over the table.
Yeah.
Did you get
felt
that?
like that? Yeah, I didn't know where he was jumping, but
No, it felt like he jumped up and he jumped
out
over
of
the
date.
table.
Out of date.
Well, I don't know.
just
Something
went.
jumped.
Yeah.
It was like something jumped, and that's what I jumped back. So I thought,
When we were doing the glass, something went like that and touched my face.
Is your camera back, Jules?
Yeah, it seems to be working again. But, I don't know what that was about.
I'm sure I just saw something go, like a light, go from one end of the room to the other.
A lot of what you're talking about with this last 5-10 minutes, you're talking about people coming into contact with energy. The thing about feeling the spider's webs, you know, the flashes you've been seeing, you're talking about just people connecting with some kind of energy.
Yeah,
it's a bit like when you get static and your hair stands on end.
Well, classic signs, aren't they? The cobwebs on the face.
It's just a very, very gentle tingling kind of sensation.
He's still there.
What, the one you didn't know?
It's very strong.
Can you get a name? And why are you rubbing yourself?
I don't know, it's like I've got pain.
Wow.
Top left shoulder.
Yeah, that's where I saw a spear. There was a spear sticking out of you. It was really weird.
It does feel like there's something there.
Flashes of light again.
Yeah, I can see that.
Going cold.
There's something at the side of you, AD.
Yeah, going cold. I'm feeling cold around here.
Just going towards Dave.
Dave, how are you feeling? This is quite disorientating, actually. It's quite... because it's pitch black in here. Dave, I'm sat right next to him, sandwiched between him and Andy. And he's not Dave. I don't know who he is. But there's something worse about the fact that he's not speaking.
There's a couple of red flashes then.
What, above Dave?
Yeah.
Yes.
Who are you now?
Will you give us your name, Spirit?
No.
No.
Have we met you before?
Yes.
Is there a reason you won't give us your name, Spirit?
it's gone dark.
There's something moving over there.
There's something you want to tell us, now's a chance to say.
Where's he going?
Is he moving?
He's moving towards...
What, has he got up, Caroline?
No,
He's looking at me again.
he's looking. He's moving towards Jules.
You know who that is then, don't you?
Which one? Is this Jonathan?
It's Jonathan.
What's the fascination with Jules? What has Jules got that you want?
Jonathan, why are you interested in Jules?
Time.
Time for what?
What was that?
A clip
Clicking.
at the back then.
What
Jonathan,
time?
why do you want Jules?
He has
He has what?
What does he have, Jonathan?
gift.
A gift? What gift, Jonathan?
Joy.
What was that?
There's another click behind me.
He has the gift of joy.
Wish.
You wish?
Mine.
There was a flash just by you there, Caroline.
Is it to do with the baby? A gift of joy. He said 10 weeks earlier, didn't he?
Oh, yeah.
So did this Jonathan want a child?
Did you want a child, Jonathan?
Yes.
Did you lose a child, Jonathan?
Yes.
Click.
Yes. He said yes.
You said 10 weeks to me earlier. That was a very relevant time period for me.
In 10 weeks, are you having a child, Jules?
Yes.
This torments you, does it?
I want a child!
Lights. Just careful.
back with us, Dave? Yeah, okay, mate. Yeah. I think that answers one of the questions from tonight.
I don't feel comfortable in there anymore.
No, I don't.
Can we move on?
Yeah.
Glass divination, unexplained lights, swarms of insects, mysterious shadows, hidden voices, but, above all, a dark voice toying with us on our final Fright Night. And to end it, we had to confront what had been following us around all night. We end where we started next.
Step out of your comfort zone and in to the sanctuary.
Our time at Guy's Cliff was coming to an end. Emotionally and physically drained, we still had some answers to find, and it all centred around where we'd had our first dark encounter. The dark, underground, claustrophobic area called the Wine Cellar.
Prophecy.
Right, there's a lot of separate things going on with a lot of different people here tonight. I think that before we do anything else right now, we ought to just return to the wine cellar just to see if anything is happening down there. And I think that we want to go down there in a smaller group this time, just to see what's what, because I know that Davey's really exhausted. So let's just give this one more go.
Absolutely.
Right, so here we are then. We're at the entrance to the wine cellar. Down this gravelly path once more. Smaller group, there are just four of us. There's Dino, myself, Andy and Dave. Now, Dave, of course, has got to come along because he's the sidekick. I brought Andy along because I'm slightly worried about Dave, to be quite honest with you, because everything that he's been through tonight, I think it's taken a lot out of him, to be fair. How can a temperature just rise and fall in a place like this? You'd think it would be much the same each time you come back down again.
The temperature outside has dropped significantly. So when you came in here earlier, when it was nice and warmish outside, it'll feel cold in here. But because the temperature's dropped rapidly outside, the heat's remained in here, which means when you come in, it'll feel slightly warmer than it will outside.
But I'm still freezing in here. Now, Andy, I mean, Dave's just taken himself over there and he's stood separate to us at the minute. There's the three of us stood here together. I'm slightly concerned about Dave, to be fair.
I'm keeping a very close eye on him.
Dave, are you with us?
Yeah, it's still me.
Right, there are four of us down here in the wine cellar. There's Dave, who I think we can safely say, Dino, is not himself.
No, there's a lot of people coming through for Dave, and all the things that we've experienced as well. He's not looking himself.
He's not looked himself all night, and he's had Samuel, Guy, all sorts coming through. Now, Andy is usually the one that gives the protection, and that's what we bring Andy along for. I think that for this time, I think to let Dave, and I do this reluctantly, but I think that we need to ask Andy to step down into the mouth there so that you're actually not completely in the room with us, so that you're just outside. Right, so Andy's gone. Within calling distance, he's still within calling distance, but not quite here. I feel so incredibly nervous now, I feel almost sick.
Lights out.
Dave, how are you feeling? Dave, are you with us? Dave, can you hear me? I can't see anything.
I can't see you at all.
Hello.
Oh my God!
Who are you?
Nice to see you again.
Jonathan. Is that Jonathan?
No.
You're not Jonathan?
It's not my name.
What's your name?
You know.
He's stroking my arm.
We've met before.
Who is this? Who is this, please?
Oh my God.
What?
Not the one from when we went
My
to the...
little abomination.
Oh.
Not James. No, James.
From Manor House.
No, James! Is this you? James, please stand back.
Hello.
James, please leave him.
I can't go back any further. I'm actually against a wall.
Well, I'm coming between you. James, you're not going to get to him. What do you want with him? If he's an abomination, why are you trying to get to him?
Where is he?
He's right in front of me. I've got my hands on him. James, what do you want? I can't move.
Let me just step back.
No, we're not scared.
Back off, James. Back off.
James!
Back off.
Look, you can't get to him, James.
You see, you've all got it wrong, haven't you? You've all got it wrong!
What have we got wrong?
Is this James?
I don't know if this is James. Is this James?
Everybody like you is an abomination!
He hasn't done anything to you.
How's your head?
What?
Pretty boy, how's your head?
Stop talking to him like that. James, if this is you, James.
Do you know what we do to pretty boys? We cut their heads
Stop
off.
it now.
That's not James.
That's not James. Who
It's
are
Guy.
you?
Been troubling you, has it?
Guy.
Has it?
Guy, this isn't him. This isn't him. I've got my hands pressed right up to Guy,
And I'm pushing
around
it-
his neck, and
pressed
he's
against the
pushing
wall.
against the pair of us here. Guy.
Is this the black dog?
You are an abomination.
I don't know what we've got here. I don't know what we've got here.
This is. I can't move anymore.
You are an abomination!
Dean, which one is it? Who is it?
I think this is Guy. He cut off the head of. What's his
But
name?
why are you an
Piers.
abomination? Yeah, but what for?
There was.
Dean, what's that white flash?
Oh.
You are nothing, Cornwall. Nothing!
Guy had a thing against Piers because he was a quote friend of the king.
What is it with you then? Why you?
When I say a friend of the king, I mean a friend.
Oh, right.
So he was gay.
Right, so that's why he's going for you.
Stop pushing Caroline.
He's gone back, and this is even worse now because at least when I had hold of him, I knew where he was. No, I haven't got a clue. This place is absolutely pitch dark.
It's gone freezing
it's
cold.
absolutely-
It's really, really cold. I
And
can't
I
hear
don't know
him
where he
breathing.
is, and I can't hear him. And this is even worse. Guy, are you still there? Move back, Dean.
I can't move back any further.
Guy? I can't even tell where we bloody well are.
Shh, shh, shh. I can't even hear him.
One way out.
Just one way out. I can't even tell where he is.
Neither can I. Can we go out?
Up by the door.
Where's the door? Where is the door?
I mean...
Andy!
Yep. You okay?
Dave?
You okay, Caroline?
Yes, I'm fine. Turn it off. Turn it off. Let's go out.
Yes.
Dave?
I need to get out of this room.
Andy, take him out if we can.
Let's...
You okay, Dave?
Yeah, I need to get out of this room.
Yeah. Come on, let's go.
Oh!
We got a light. Can we get a torch on quick? Okay, put it down. You okay? Stand back. Stand back. Can you get that torch?
Yeah, sorry.
Dave?
Is he all right?
Come on.
Caroline?
Yeah.
Okay, Dave.
Explain what's happening.
Well, Dave is now... He fell over. I was holding on to him. We were holding... I was clutching his hands. He fell. I fell. He's now just crouched over in the corridor and...
You okay?
Yeah.
Oh, you actually, Dave?
Yeah.
We've had a lot going on today, so Dave, I'm going to ask you what's your surname. Can you give us your surname, Dave?
Yeah.
What's your surname?
What was that?
That was a stone or something behind us. We need to get you out of here, Dave.
She's for me, Andy. It's his.
We need to get you up off the floor. Okay? Yes.
Right, that's it now. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on, Tiger. You okay, mate?
Yeah.
Find your feet.
Yeah.
Right, no more now. That's more than enough. No more. He can't go through any more of this tonight, and I don't think that we can either. And I think that we just need to leave him with Andy, because any more, and I just think it's going to just get dangerous. To be fair, I think that we've done enough. He's had enough. Just turn it off. Turn it off.
Turn it off. Turn it off. Turn it off.
So it begins.
The collective noun for the ones that are there are in murder of crows.
This is certainly not an eerie feel to it.
The last one was there.
We can't go any further down there.
Whispering.
Oh, this is amazing.
The venue that scary in lots of ways.
We can safely say, Dino, he's not himself.
Positive energy, burning very, very bright.
Why is it that this scene's not being predicted when we came out?
Historian, skeptic, and protection.
I can't look at